Hello, you guys, and welcome back to the Temple Within podcast. I'm your host, Jan Hubbard. Today, it's a little bit of a change in scenery, at least for now. Maybe a little bit of a while, but I'm not going to let it stop me from doing what I love and posting these videos and glorifying God through the talents and passions God has blessed me with. So, this is at least where we are going to be doing these episodes for now. But at least today, with what we are talking about, is doing things with the right motive, with everything that we think, say, and do. What difference does it make whenever we do it with or the same action with the right motive, or the same action with the wrong motive? And that's what we are going to be talking about today, and asking ourselves, what does the Bible say about it? In the first verse, I want to read and talk about that hits this topic is 1 Corinthians 13, 1 through 3. Which says, "If I could speak all of the languages of earth and of angels, but didn't love others, I would only be a noisy gong or a clanging cymbal. If I had the gift of prophecy, and if I understood all of God's secret plans and possessed all knowledge, and if I had such faith that could move mountains, but did not love others, I would be nothing. If I gave everything I have to the poor and even sacrificed my body, I could boast about it. But if I didn't love others, I would have gained nothing." What these verses are saying to us is that it doesn't matter what we do, how we do it, what we say, how we say it. If love is not at the root, there's no spiritual power in it. And if you're asking yourself, well, what exactly is love? It says in 1 John, I forget the exact verses, but it says in 1 John that God is love. And love at its very root is caring for the well-being of others. And what better to care for another person than to shine the love of Christ unto them? And if we are doing something, whether that be prayer or giving to the poor or doing anything, but love is not at the root of it, we are stripping the spiritual power behind it that can be affecting us positively and allowing us to grow closer to Christ. And in some cases, depending on God's will, we're stripping the spiritual power that can be applied to the person that it's directed towards, right? Because if we, for example, give to the poor with the wrong motive, in some cases, it won't have that amount of spiritual power to that person, depending on God's will, than if you were to do it with the right motive. And you actually wanting to care and give and love on that person instead of you just wanting to look good, essentially. But you giving with the wrong motive, 1,000,000% strips of spiritual power that could be applied to you, and you just get more rooted in pride, and you get stripped away from blessing, and you actually grow closer to God. So while doing things with the wrong motive can strip the spiritual power that can be applied to us, it can, depending on God's will, strip the spiritual power upon that person, which shouldn't be a thing anyone should want. And another verse I want to hit is James 4:3. And James 4:3 says, "And even when you ask, you don't get it because your motives are all wrong. You want only what will give you pleasure." So not only can doing things and saying things with the wrong motive strip the spiritual power that can be applied to us, the spiritual change that can allow us to grow closer to Christ and blessing be brought out of that, whether that be physical or spiritual, but it can also hinder our prayers, because if we pray with the wrong motive, God won't bless it, essentially. And at least with one of the whys as to your prayer not being answered could be with you asking with the wrong motive. That's another way of how doing something, saying something, in this case, with this verse, praying with the wrong motive, can affect you negatively in your relationship with God. And another verse I want to talk about, it's not talked about enough, especially with how, rightly so, negatively the prosperity gospel is. But when people talk about this topic, people attach the prosperity gospel label to it, but you know, it's going to take a pair of scissors to cut out of the Bible, and it's something that's very real and that needs to be talked about more. while obviously not manipulating it to the prosperity gospel that so many people preach. And this is talking about eternal rewards. And the verse I want to hit regarding wrong motives and eternal rewards is Matthew 6:1. And Matthew 6:1 says, "Watch out. Don't do your good deeds publicly to be admired by others, for you will lose the reward from your Father in heaven." Now, regarding eternal rewards and rewards in heaven, do we necessarily know what they will look like? No. But what this verse is saying is that you doing stuff with the wrong motive for your glory, not for the glory of God, not only are you affecting your relationship with God here on earth, but you're also affecting your eternity. And something we also need to be conscious about is not only focusing on our relationship and our mission here on earth, but what exactly we are investing in heaven. Because the things that we do here, yes, it is affecting the people around us and it is affecting us here on earth, but we are also affecting our future in heaven, which is eternal life with God, which we will be living for eternity rather than the 70, 80, 90 years we are here on earth. We are in heaven for eternity. And something we need to keep conscious of ourselves is that we also need to be investing in our future in heaven with God. And again, I know a lot of people, talk about, or whenever someone is talking about eternal rewards and rewards in heaven, they slap the prosperity, gospel on it. But it's very true that you doing things with the wrong motive, you are affecting your life in heaven, which you are going to be living for eternity, again, rather than these 70, 80, 90 years here on earth. So invest in your future. Again, not for, at the root of it, your glory, but out of your love for God. So that's at least something to watch out for. Now, regarding this, talking about doing things with the right motive, with everything that you think, say, and do, it being rooted in love, caring for the well-being of others, which is in total leading them closer to Christ, living out John 3:30, let not, or may I become less and God become greater, letting not our will be done, but God's will be done, because we are not the ultimate transformers in our lives. Ooh, my Bible almost fell. How to fix this? How can we fix our motives, essentially, and be transformed by the renewal of our mind? Because again, like, you can say all these things, and know what to do, but you don't know how to do it. And at least regarding fixing our motives so that they are not self-righteous, but for God and His glory, it's a matter of humbling ourselves. And two verses I want to hit, with the first one being Psalms 51:10. It says, "Create in me a clean heart, O God, renew a loyal spirit within me." And what it means to have a loyal spirit to God is one that's committed, under submission to, and devoted to. And another verse that talks about clearing or rooting out our wrong motives with everything that we think, say, and do is Psalms 139:23-24, which says, "Search in me, O God, and know my heart. Test me and know my anxious thoughts. Point out anything in me that offends you and lead me along the path of everlasting life." To root out the wrong motives in our hearts through everything that we do, it's a matter of humbling ourselves to God and asking God, "Search me, O God, search my heart." Because I bet you, every single person, including me, while we have the want to pursue God and do things with the right motives, sometimes we can do things with the wrong motive and not even know about it. And for some people, they're unconscious about it. For some people, they're conscious about it. No matter what, it's a matter of humbling yourself, asking and praying to God, communicating to God. Because while God knows your thoughts, like a father to a son, He still wants you to communicate to Him through prayer. It's a matter of humbling yourself and asking God, "Search me, O God, test my thoughts, and root out the evil desires and motives within my heart and renew my mind." and making God more present than the thoughts and the actions that are rooted in sin. Because you can't be transformed by the renewal of your mind if you're having the sinful ideations and actions more present than God in your life. You need to be transformed by the renewal of your mind by allowing God to be more present than those thoughts, than those actions. Only then is sin actually rooted out in your life, and only then are you transformed by the renewal of your mind, as it says in Romans 12. And without humbling yourself, you will lock that door. It's a matter of humbling yourselves before God, saying, God, I know I'm a sinner. I know I can't do anything without you. I submit to you, God, and I pray and plead for help, Lord, for you to clear out my motives and root out sin in my life, so that life of fruit may be produced in my life and other people's lives, and love may be at the root of everything that I think, say, and do. I hope you apply this into your life, and this is something that we need to be praying and doing constantly, because again, sometimes we're conscious of the things that we know we have wrong motives behind, but a lot of the time also we are doing things with the wrong motives and we're not conscious about it. And it's a matter of continually praying, as it says in the book of Luke, I believe, to God. Test me, God. Search me, O God, my heart and my thoughts, and renew me and refine me, and root out the impurities within my life, so that I may grow closer to you, Lord. I think, and I pray, and I dearly pray that this is something you do apply constantly throughout each and every single day, because it's not just one and done thing, it's a continual thing. Pretty sure this episode will be posted maybe Tuesday. I think I work Tuesday now. So I think, at least regarding episodes, they are going to be posted Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. Or Monday or Tuesday or Wednesday, essentially. So watch out for that. And again, I'm pretty sure the episodes now, at least for now, at the time being, they're going to be recorded in here. But I'm not going to let a small, unfortunate circumstance steer me away from something. I dearly love, not for glorifying myself, but for glorifying God, because it 1,000,000% is a passion that I have. And I hope you guys continue watching. Hope you guys this was helpful and something that is applied into your life, and something that you remind yourself to total grow closer to Christ with. Thank you guys. Love you guys. And this is the Temple Within podcast.